Welcome to this week's edition of the Dakota Angler 2-Minute Fishing Report. Well, folks, Mother Nature is definitely not making up her mind. She's going through some warm phases this past week as well as cold phases. Kind of sounds like someone I live with, but I'm not going to say that because, honestly, that could get me in trouble. I mean, wink, wink, right? But again, hopefully Mother Nature is starting to straighten itself out a little bit more, but this is typical spring weather here in South Dakota. And that has definitely affected the number of people that have been going out lately. A lot of people have been asking me, have you been going out? And I said, no, we've been too busy. And honestly, the only thing I've caught the past week and a half is this cold. So pardon the voice, to say the least. But, you know, a few people were able to get out and, you know, finding a few fish. But the bite is definitely off due to the, you know, the changing weather. The barometric pressure has been up and down all over the place. But the lakes up in the northeastern part of the state that produce walleyes included blue dog. That would probably be the best bite right now. Other lakes included Bitter, Wabe, Reed, Dry Lake by Clark, Indian Springs, Goose, Big Stone, and as well as Long. Then down the southeastern part of the state, the lakes included Madison, and that's going on right now and taking advantage of that because there's less recreational traffic this time of year than what you would normally see in the summertime. And then also Whitewood, Ponset, Thompson, Dry Lake by Willow Lake, and then also Twin, which you remember is the trophy lake, and you can have plenty of fun out there catching walleyes. And then also Brant, Island, and Vermilion. Now, what are guys doing? And also, I should mention the Missouri River is doing pretty well. Again, depending on the day, the best bite is around the Chamberlain area, north and south. But Platte and Pickstown has been showing signs of starting to have an increasing bite here the past couple of days. Now, what people have been doing to catch the walleyes, again, jigs and minnows, jigs and live bait have been working well. Jigs and plastics, and what I'm talking about, jigs and plastics, the plastics include, you know, typical twister tails like, you know, the authentics or anything like that. Otherwise, you can use the swim bait tails such as the Kitex, the walleye assassins. Gulp minnows have been working really well. So again, it really hasn't been anything specific. You got to kind of match it up to find out what really triggers the bite on that given day. But out in the Missouri River, guys are doing that, but also some guys are having better luck pulling crankbaits like stick baits such as you know, the Husky Jerks, the Walleye Nation Creations Reapers, things like that. And then also from shore, if you go out and fish the riprap right now this time of year, late afternoon, evening, post-sunset, you can definitely throw the original floating wrap or the hit sticks, and you're going to have some pretty good luck out there because the walleye spawn has definitely begun, to say the least. So keep that in mind. And the other thing we want to keep in mind is the upcoming promotions that we have going on here beginning today on Wednesday. You're going to have 20% off all Rapala tools and knives. That's, again, 20% off all Rapala tools and knives. Also, all Suffix line. That's monofilament, braid, lead core, all 20% off. And then also all VMC jigs. Anything VMC is all 20% off, and that includes bass and walleye jigs. So again, 20% off all Rapala tools and knives, 20% off all Suffix line, and then 20% off all VMC jigs. If you can't make it to the store, this offer or this promo is also available online at dakotaangler.com by using the code word April. In this week's edition of Todd's Tackle Tips, we're going to talk about rods and why there are so many different rods out there and so many different price ranges. Well, folks, rods have changed dramatically. I've owned the store for 23 years, and I can tell you I don't fish with the same rod that I had 23 years ago, but a lot of you still do because you caught fish with it, and you're wondering, why do I need to upgrade? Well, folks, I can tell you this much. Their rods, again, like I said, have changed dramatically. And the way they've changed the most is that there's a lot of rod companies that are making rods that are technique specific. What do I mean by that? Well, it depends on how you fish. And if you know, there's rods that are made for, you know, using slip bobbers, whether or not you jig, whether or not you're casting jigs or casting plastics, whether or not you cast crankbaits, also whether or not you snap jig. Each one of these different rod companies make rods specific for that type of technique. And so if you're trying to use that rod for all these different types of techniques, I'm not going to say you're not going to catch fish. You will catch fish, but maybe not as many as if you would by using the proper rod because it is weighted properly and it has the proper sensitivity at the same time. Now, some of those rod companies that we carry here, we're proud to carry, include Fenwick. And Fenwick has redesigned their entire lineup of rods. And now they have the World Class, the Walleye Elite, I think are two fantastic rods, but also the HMG and the Eagle, also very good for the price at the same time. So again, stop by and take a look at them. G. Loomis, we're a proud dealer of G. Loomis. We have the NRXs, and they've been popular for the past few years. Keep an eye out for them. Elliott's, the Identity Series. Again, very lightweight, very sensitive. St. Croix, a trusted name in the rod manufacturing business. We have a full lineup of St. Croix rods, depending on how much you want to spend. Also, new this year, Lew's Elite Series. You know, a lot of times people think of Lew's in bass fishing. They sell bass rods, but they also sell walleye rods. And this year they came out with the new Elite Series. Stop on by and take a look at them. The Daiwa Kagi rods. We're one of the few dealers here in the upper Midwest that sell the Kagis, that are allowed to sell the Kagis. We're the only one in the state of South Dakota. So if you haven't put a Kagi rod in your hand, you're going to want to do that because, again, you talk about a lightweight, sensitive rod that are technique specific. The Kagi is definitely for you. And then new to our lineup this year is the rods made by Temple Fork. A lot of times people think of Temple Fork and being known as the fly fishing rod company. They make fly fishing rods. There's no doubt about that. But they also make walleye and panfish rods. We carry the walleye rods, and the nice thing about these rods, again, the price point, very great, very good for the rod that you're looking at, but also the warranty. It's a lifetime warranty no matter what. If you break the rod, you turn it back in, you get a new rod. That warranty is also good for that new rod that you get. So you spend $120, you got a warranty for life no matter what. So again, if you're interested in any of these rods, and again, if you don't understand what we're talking about as far as technique-specific rods, stop on by and talk to us because that's what we're here for. We use the rods that we sell. So make sure you stop on by, take a look at what we have, and don't be afraid to ask the questions. And now it's time to take a look at a few photos that you sent in to me this past week. And remember, folks, if you'd like your photo included in next week's version of the 2-Minute Fishing Report, all you have to do is send it to me. Send it to Todd at DakotaAngler.com. And before we end this week's report, I want to remind you that if you can't make it to the store, and we know that all of you can make it because a lot of people are watching this video from a great distance away, and we greatly appreciate that. Since you can't make it to the store, make sure you check us out on the website, DakotaAngler.com, because everything that you see on the store floor is also available on our website. So make sure also with the promotions going on, as we talked about at the early part of this segment, is that, again, use that code April, and that will give you access to all those promotions that we're doing here at the store, but also available to you online. But if you have any questions whatsoever about the promotions or anything that you heard on the report or anything about the store, feel free to give us a call at 605-336-9132. Well, folks, that's this week's version of the 2-Minute Fishing Report for Dakota Angler. I'm the owner, Todd Heitkamp, and as we say around here, fish on! We'll see you next week. And again, thanks for watching. Stay healthy and always stay safe.